Are you capable to get COVID vaccine in India right now? Or are you in a capacity to get COVID vaccine in India right now? Answer is yes if you are 45 or above 45 years of age, and answer is no if you are below 45 years of age, right? So what is capacity for getting COVID vaccine right now? 45 or above 45. Similarly, Indian Contract Act provides for certain capacities to enter into a valid contract. If you are capable to enter into a contract, then that contract is valid. If you are not capable to enter into a contract and still you enter, that contract is void, means it is not valid. Hello everyone, welcome to Law Simple, Pure and to the Core. Dr. Vaishali here, and today's lecture is about capacity in law of contract. So section 10 and 11 provides for rules relating to capacity under Indian Contract Act. Section 10 provides that every person who is entering into a contract must be capable to enter into a contract. And Section 11 provides that what is capacity? Number 1, that person must be age of minority. Number 2, that person must be of sound mind. And number 3, that person should not be disqualified from any law under which he is a subject. So these are 3 basic rules, and then you are going to write about each and every rule in detail. So let us go through the topic. What is majority? In India, there are different rules relating to majority. Number 1, under Indian Majority Act 1875, every person who is above 18 years of age is major. So he can enter into a contract. Exception if he comes under Guardians and Wards Act and a guardian is appointed to take care of that property. In that case, age of majority is 21. For example, if a kid is in custody of his uncle because his parents are dead and court appointed his uncle as his legal guardian, then in that case, that kid becomes major at 21 years of age. And third is marriage. So for marriage, girl must be of 18 years of age and a groom or boy must be of 21 years of age. So these are the rules relating to majority in India. So what is the status of minor's contract or agreement? According to law, it's void ab initio, means which is not valid from the very beginning. So it is not a contract at all. And case law is Mohiri Bibi versus Dharmadas Ghosh. In this case, what happened? There was a minor who was staying with his mother and he had lot of immovable property. He mortgaged that property with a person and he took some loan on that property. So the person went into a court of law for that property. But law provided that contract with a minor is a void contract and court cannot compel the minor to pay back the money or to give the property to that person. So this is the status of minor's contract in India. Number 2 case is Leslie versus Shell. In this case, again, a minor, he misrepresented his age. He told that I am major and he took some loan from a person. That person went into a court of law. Again, law provided that contract with a minor is void ab initio and hence cannot be enforced in a court of law. What is an exception to this rule? Contract of marriage. Marriage is a contract in India, but that is not void ab initio. It is voidable after gaining majority, but it is not void ab initio. So contract of marriage is an exception to this rule and it comes under family law, not under Indian Contract Act. So what are the rules relating to minor's agreement? Number 1, no estoppel against minor. Okay, so if minor enters into a contract with some other person, court cannot make that minor pay back the money. Okay, he cannot be stopped in that case. Number 2, no liability for torts which came out of contract. For example, minor has a dog which he wants to sell to his neighbor. So he says, I will sell my dog to you for 50 rupees. So neighbor pays 50 rupees to that minor. Minor says, I don't want to give my dog to you. And meanwhile, dog goes out of the control and bites the neighbor. So contract is broken and tort is arising out of contract. Still, that neighbor cannot sue the minor in a court of law because there is a contract and a tort arising out of contract. If there is a simple tort, then yes, minor is liable. But if a tort is arising out of contract, minor is not liable. Next rule is doctrine of equitable restitution. If minor enjoys someone else's property, okay, by misrepresenting his age, then if that property is still with minor, court may call the minor and ask him to return the property back to the person. But if it is out of the control of minor, then minor cannot be compelled to perform the contract or pay back the other party. Liability to restore benefits. Now this is something different. If a minor seeks help from some other party, if a minor is lost and if he tells the other party that please pay for my travel expenses, please pay for my medical expenses and food, and I will make you pay back after getting home, then in that case minor is liable to pay the other person and he is supposed to restore the benefits which he got under this contract. Next rule is beneficial contracts are enforceable by minor. So if minor is a beneficiary under the contract, he can go to a court of law and enforce the contract, but not the other party. So it is always a duty of another party to make sure whether the person with whom he is entering into a contract is minor or not, because minor is protected by law. He is a beneficiary. Okay. And next thing which comes under is no ratification of minor's contract. So if a minor enters into a contract with other person, that contract is void ab initio. After getting majority, minor cannot say that now I want to go back and ratify the contract. No, it is not allowed. Exception is again marriage contract. And liability for necessaries. So some necessaries are supplied to a minor. For example, if a minor is under a control of a guardian, okay, and the guardian provides for his expenses for all the necessaries, then minor is supposed to pay back the other party out of his property or after getting majority. So these are the rules relating to minor's contract. Contract with minor is void ab initio. It is not a valid contract in the eyes of law. Exception is marriage contract, which comes under family law and not under Indian Contract Act, and then certain rules. After this, second rule comes, and that is Section 12 of Indian Contract Act. Section 12 of the Indian Contract Act provides that a person is said to be of sound mind if he is capable of understanding the contract and forming a rational judgment as to the effect of that contract on him. This covers three cases: idiocy, lunacy, and drunkenness. Idiocy means a person is mad, who is declared as a mad by psychiatrist. You cannot enter into a contract with an idiot. Number two, lunacy. Lunatics are persons who are normal for some period of time and who are not normal for some period of time. So while they are normal, you can enter into a contract with him. They are called lunatics. And three is drunken person. If a person is under a heavy influence of alcohol, he is not in a position to judge, right? So in that cases, those contracts are not valid. So this is the case number 2, and that is person of unsound mind. Now case number 3 is people who are declared or disqualified by law. And who are they? Number 1, alien enemies. If your country is at a stage of war with another country, then during that time you cannot enter into a contract with that citizen. Suppose there is a war between India and China, ongoing war. You cannot enter into a contract with a Chinese citizen till the war ends. Number 2, foreign sovereigns and ambassadors, foreign diplomats and ambassadors. You cannot enter into a contract with these people unless it is provided in that case. Number 3, insolvents or bankrupts. In Hindi, it's called diwala. So if insolvency or bankruptcy is declared by the court of law, you cannot enter into a contract with that person. Next, it's convict. When a person is convicted by a court of law as a criminal for murder, in that case, you cannot enter into a contract with that convict. And corporations. Company, you can enter into a contract with company because company is a person in eyes of law, but not corporations. In case of corporations, against rules are different. So these are the basic rules relating to capacity to enter into a contract. If these cases are fulfilled, you can enter into a contract with that person. If he is not capable to enter into a contract, then that contract is void. Contract with minor is void ab initio. So this is the status relating to capacity. Subscribe right now for upcoming topics, and I'll be covering each and everything relating to Indian Contract Act and so many other subjects on law. So please motivate me with your comments, with your likes, and please give me topic list for the next lectures. Thanks a lot. Stay tuned till my next lecture. Goodbye and good luck.